Welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, day number 313. So, there are once again no updates on any anticipated appeals, no sales in the Shopify Store, and once again no work on any long-form videos because I've been working on getting the shorts done and catching up on errands. All right, I guess we'll continue with work on the terminal block mining game. Let's see, I have some uncommitted changes. Okay, just some pseudocode. Okay, I guess what I'll do tonight. I forgot to acknowledge Orthoplex 64. How's it going? The real Charity. How's it going? So tonight, I guess the introduction to the work for tonight is to continue work on the unit tests for testing the chunk loading and unloading. And this is all part of the development arc of implementing multiplayer. When you dominate the world, can I get all of the RAM? Maybe. You're going to have some of it. You have to test it though, because sometimes old RAM will go bad. Especially if it overheats too much. Okay, I guess I'll make a method for generating a random chunk. Doing well. How are you doing today? Pretty good. Slowly grinding away, making progress. I've been trying to get the views up on the channel by publishing at least one shorts video every day. It's not really realistic to do one long form every day. I mean, I could just like point a camera at the ground and produce a low quality video, but I try to make it so everything I produce is like there's some probability of having like thousands of views in a year. Shosaki says evening. How's it going? Sounds like a podcast. Do you mean this live stream? Some people have said it's like they appreciate the ASMR value of it. The idea of filming the floor while talking. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Even so, even if I do that, if the content of the talking is good and interesting, people will watch that. But then again, if I'm gonna actually talk on something, usually I want to prepare my thoughts, so I'd like think about what I'm gonna say, and that takes a ton of time. In my bi-weekly chat with my dad tonight. First conversation since being laid off. Oh, how'd that go? It's depending on things go differently depending on your parental relationship. Surprised you weren't down more down. Well, that's good if you're got a good mindset. I guess it's you kind of have to become like the way the world is. Long ago, for when people had like 30-year careers, if you got laid off, it meant it's like something wrong with you. But now it's like companies just discard you all the time, and even the companies themselves, they all suck. So getting laid off is just it's a normal thing now. To keep up with what you want to, how do you keep up with what you want to film for videos? Do you use project management tools or just calendars? I guess I don't use any of that really. A lot of it's kind of chaotic. Like I guess because a lot of stuff I do in my business is like experimental. I'm always trying to like test where there is new growth, or like sometimes the most successful things are like things, serendipitous things where I just get an idea for something and then it all comes together really quickly. Like the video I made about someone sneaking into my house and putting cigarette burn marks on the wafers. That was a very low effort video. I took like 3 minutes to film that. I filmed a couple takes, and then this time-consuming part was editing it. So like I probably finished and uploaded in like 20 minutes, and then I think it has 10,000 views or something. So it was like the video, the return on investment of it for that one simple thing was pretty good. But then other stuff, I try to make it more educational, and it ends up taking way longer. Yeah, I don't know. I would say, I guess the original question: how do you keep up with what you want to film for videos? I guess you could question if I do even accomplish that well enough. Ideally, I would produce more content. But then again, I don't know if I made it, like if I had project management and like schedules and everything was like on super tight deadlines, the quality of a lot of stuff would go down. But then also like the informational content, like if I publish tons of videos, especially if I want to publish things that are educational, if I'm publishing things that are wrong, like the video I published about how to print colored text, there was a technically I misspoke in that. I said slash instead of backslash. Now, if I had more time to like review stuff, I could correct that. That's a minor thing, but once it becomes more formulaic, it's just actually I think like Linus Tech Tips had some controversy with kind of the same thing. I don't know, 6 months ago or so, they were getting a lot of hate because they published all these like benchmark stats, and they were all like full of mistakes, and people were calling them out on it, and they said, okay, we're going to overhaul our process. And I think actually recently they're probably financially hurting. It seems like most, the economy broadly speaking is not doing well anywhere. I guess hence you talking about getting laid off. So yeah, if I had it down to a formula, I probably would have some more like, I could like put it out on a calendar. But then again, a lot of stuff I do, I'm like, okay, this is a new, like when I did that video, the how to become a 37-year-old broke loser video, that was like an hour long, breakdown, review, my perspective on stuff. That video, the revenue on that was $10,000. And then I did another one on immigration, which I thought, of course, immigration, everyone, that's a really important topic, and I have a very, a very unique perspective on that because I taught mostly immigrant students for a couple of years. That video only made like a few $100. So that what I thought might be a formula, like I could make the numbers work on that if it was repeatable, that I'd make at least a few $1,000s per hour-long video. But and then I did another long video on my review of the housing situation here, and that one also got even less views. So yeah, a lot of stuff is experiments, and often it I have to like switch to something else. Social contract is evaporating. Yep, especially for corporations. How are your shorts doing? They're doing okay. I think that the model actually seems to be like when I publish videos, the videos I publish get very few views, but it seems like what I have to do is publish new videos to make the old videos get shown, and the old videos are the videos that make money. Because actually, like, I've been posting these new shorts, and suddenly a lot of my favorite Linux command shorts, those are all trending. Like I think like the true command. When I look at that, I published, it was literally 3 years ago, I think, that I published it. And the graph is basically just flat. And then ever since I started publishing all these other shorts, this 3-year-old video, the graph is just like vertical. And like, it's only made like $1 or something, but 90% of the revenue for that 3-year-old shorts was produced in the last few days. And it's because I'm posting new content. And I guess people are seeing that. Do you write out scripts? Sometimes. I kind of actually prefer to write out scripts to like present it well and make sure the idea is cohesive, but I've been trying to do less script writing. My tenant, that's sometimes I'll just start with a couple of bullet points and say, okay, I promise I won't script anything out, and then I end up actually scripting stuff out, and then it starts to drag on or take more time because I think, oh, I actually could rephrase that better. But it actually seems like the whole YouTube model favors low informational, low effort content. It's just like, I don't know, it's meant for like people on Adderall who just want to listen to someone say the same thing over and over again. Shibal says, yo, how's it going? YouTube is random. Some topics get millions of views. Others get 0. Just gambling. Gambling that's legal. Well, I don't know if it's gambling. I mean, in some ways, some business models do feel that way, but it almost seems like that's increasingly, that seems to become most of the economy. Almost seems like gambling now. Like if you invest your time and effort and life into a given career path, it just seems like it's a random number generator, whether it works for you or not. And the amount of control is decreasing. The whole idea was that you work hard, be dedicated, build a life, supported by business, but don't let business throw you away at a moment's notice. Yeah, it's and it's also it's almost not even like that's getting worse for the business, but businesses themselves are like increasingly nonsensical and throwaway. Like in Silicon Valley, everything in tech, you'll have some business that raises millions of dollars and then just catastrophically goes bankrupt. Like all those like scooter businesses and stuff in San Francisco, where people would they'd raised like millions of dollars from investors to buy all these scooters, and then people just take the scooters and like, throw them in the river, and then they lose them all and wait and then go bankrupt because they have no scooters left. We'll probably have a pretty complete script if I were to talk to camera. Tend to go on wild tangents. Yeah, the thing is if you can write a script, and it takes more time to like think about what you're going to say. But if you don't write a script, then you can produce more faster. Sounds like your shorts are reinforcing each other. Yeah, that seems to be true. Saw a crazy business model for YouTube videos. Literally, some dude just making fake coin pusher videos, but get a lot of hits. Fake coin pusher. Yeah, there's and the newest model is like AI slop, of like a popular genre was I used to watch some of these videos myself. There's these people who like they'll go gold panning in like some random river somewhere and talk about the type of rock to look for, and they're kind of it's interesting to see someone's actual gold panning experience. And then there's a genre of people who'd like fake those videos, so they'd go out and like they'd plant a bunch of nuggets and be like, wow, look at all this gold I found, but it's their own gold that they brought to like make it more interesting. But now it's gone up a level. You have like these AI generated slop content, like some person is like in a stream, and they're like they bring out this rock and they hit it, and then like it cracks open and they have all these like gems and stuff in there, and there's like you can watch endless hours of just like fake. I mean, in one hand, it's like it's amazing, but it's also like kind of horrifying. Like on one hand, it's a waste of time to watch a video of someone else panning gold. It's even more of a waste of time and pitiful to watch someone else make a fake gold panning video, but to watch like artificially generated synthetic videos of people that don't exist finding non-existent gems, and they have these they'll just like tap the rock and the rock completely breaks open, and it's I don't know, we're headed to a strange future. Gambling is also taking over culture due to helplessness. Yeah, I've heard that too. I watched a podcast about an accountant, and he said that people's finances are deteriorating, and that's like one thing that surprised him, is that a ton of people now have gambling, so like really crazy gambling addictions. Like they're just kind of giving up. And why plan for a future when there's no guarantee of success or stability? You have to yell your life. I mean, it makes sense that if you're if surviving requires you have to, like, if less people are going to succeed and do well, you have to like take higher risks to be one of the ones that makes it. So true. I remember seeing a white t-shirt about a bet. Will Jesus Christ return before GTA 6? Is that a poly market thing? Ironically, they're planning for gold. YouTube gold. Yeah, I think most of those channels make way more money on the revenue. Robert, I know this might be off topic. What are your thoughts on ARM? I assume your Linux machine is x86. I don't really have any particular... I'm probably not the right person to ask, but my understanding is ARM is the instruction set is like, it's an older instruction set, x86, and ARM is like, I think there are some like fundamental theoretical benefits of the ARM instruction set. Like I think it's I seem to remember hearing offhand it's like four times more like power efficient, like per you're using like 25% as much power for a certain number of flops of computation or something. And I think ARM is very much favored on mobile systems for that reason, because they have limited battery life. The instruction set, I'm not a super expert on the instruction set, but ARM seems to be, from what I understand, it seems to be a bit simpler. I guess because x86 has to support has more like consideration for legacy stuff. And I guess with ARM, since the design of ARM started later, they could kind of redesign everything from scratch. Thing is, there was never a guarantee for success in life. When you went hunting, there was no guarantee. Just that that you could train to be a hunter, and prey would be predictable. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you just think about it in terms of numerical probabilities, like in the year 1900, if you went hunting for a deer, there's pretty close to 100% chance you're going to get one eventually. But then again, I mean, today people apply to 1,000 jobs and they don't get anything. But if you're a hunter and you visit 100 forests or 1,000 forests and you don't see a single deer, that would be kind of unheard of. Or if you fish in 100 ponds and don't find a single fish. Main issue with ARM is you have to write more code. It's more power efficient. I would love to see more ARM development into ARM chips being made for Linux. Yeah, I haven't. I did a bit. I don't really think much about ARM, but I did write some ARM assembly. I wrote I taught a course on STM-F303 board, and for that we did some operating system stuff. And I wrote a context switch that actually switched between what was it, the supervisor mode and user mode or something. Oracle's ARM VMs are like half the price of their x86 ones. Interesting. How much even are they? I would imagine anything Oracle charges for is crazy expensive. Nowadays, the entire hunting environment is endlessly changing. Yeah, and nowadays, we're closer to being the hunted these days. We're the prey, not the predators. Well, because ARM could be licensed, i.e., they can make their own ARM chip. would you own? Yeah, I don't know a lot about. I know there's some like interesting, like licensing and innovation stuff with ARM. There's some innovation on their business model for how they license stuff. Remember, to find the money, I would hire you to work on Linux ARM. We could, but I'm broke. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Everybody's broke these days. Going to publish an API for your game, so someone could build an alternative graphical client. The source code is all public, so technically, you could just build. I mean, theoretically, someone already did build. They didn't build it on top of the client code, but they just built it to talk to the database. So I guess the code itself is the ultimate API. But in the future, I could. That is a possibility to. I had thought about adding some kind of license to kind of encourage people to build on top of some of the aspects. I'd still like to. I think the existing license is fine. I said it's like you have to pay at least $1 to have a license to play in. But within that, like if somebody cloned it in Vibe, like if they're a paying member, they Vibe coded something on top of it, then they want to share that with other people who've already paid, that would be, I'd be okay with that. The only thing is I'd be concerned about people forking it, putting malware in it, and then distributing that under my brand. And people will be like, hey, I downloaded your game and I got a virus. I lost all my Bitcoin. You owe me Bitcoin. And then I'll be like, you downloaded this obvious scam. Stole all your Bitcoin. AMD-based compute standard E3s. 0.25 per OCPU per hour. Oh, is this is like a cloud-based thing? I guess it makes sense. I've never used, or I guess would this be in Oracle's cloud or like AWS cloud? Could just do merge request, so it's better graphical client. I probably won't accept. Probably won't merge in any code. But I'd be fine with to have other people have like their own forks. Because if I start merging in people's code, it's That's a whole other can of worms that I'd hopefully avoid. Oracle VM pricing. Kind of like, is there such a thing as like an AWS for Oracle? Or I can just go to Oracle and then sign up and like have an interface and start launching instances. Microsoft has like Azure, but I didn't know that Oracle. I would assume it's maybe a very proprietary thing. Maybe you have to be a big business for it. Okay. Get a random cuboid. What language is your game made with? It's made with Java. Oracle Cloud, they call it. Seems open to all. Interesting. I guess it makes sense that they would have one. I guess I always assumed they had one, but I assumed it was maybe only like business clients, like the government and stuff. Why Java? That's a good question. In fact, I get that question. You know what? I gotta update the description and add that. I gotta add that to the frequently asked questions area. If you want the detailed answer, let's see. If you search my channel for what's the title? Why I wrote the block mining game in Java? I think you'll probably find it. Anyone can use it. Also, they're always free. Fiber tier. It's very generous. Equivalent of about $50 per month. Interesting. I would have figured that their cloud would be like a minimum $1 million a month plan or something, only for governments and TikToks and respect the commitment to streaming every day, every night. Yeah, I guess I signed myself up for it. That's the problem. If you do it for 100 days in a row, you can't just stop on day 101 or day 102 or day 103. You gotta keep going. But I think day 365 will be the that's probably the end of the series. I think I've gathered sufficient data to come to the conclusion that the continuing to stream doesn't seem to lead to growth in the channel. It's only actually, I think, hurting the channel, and it's people are unsubscribing. I think over time, it's like every month after month, it's like, minus 20 subscribers from streaming or something, which I think is actually fine, because what it probably does is the people, like, that's not that many. I have 160,000, so if I lose 20, that's probably fine. But that's probably also like the least interested user, so it probably is positive overall. Like it helps the algorithm focus a bit more on more committed subscribers, but at the same time it is still it never seems to converge to any kind of growth and I mean it's none of the stream VODs. I turned monetization on. I thought maybe some of them would get more views or something after I post them, but I post them and then they basically never get views. So in increasing the concurrent viewers, it seems to be mostly from if I post more long form and short form videos. Like if my videos are doing better, that's what generates the live viewers, not the other way around. So but then again, it's also, this is quite a boring, and my visuals are kind of terrible. So Spirit Coden says hi Rockman. I'm not sure who Rockman is. Maybe I have misconceptions about Java. Like how fast does it work with Vulkan? Vulkan, I forget what that is. Is that a type of processor? Project Zomboid uses Java. Not familiar with that. Have to be self-motivated. Yeah. Bro, you're a stone man from the CPU creation by the first get a rock, then smash the rock. Now you've got 98% concentrated silicon dioxide. You're following me? Excellent. You admire me? Oh, thank you. I admire you too. YouTube is saturated. It's true. Vulkan is a graphics API. Oh yeah, I think I've had at least. I think I recall at least one conversation with someone who was working on that. Graphics and compute API. It's also low level. I haven't had time to play around with it. Back when I was at when I worked at NVIDIA, I was on the CUDA automation team. That made me very interested in CUDA at the time. So I thought, someday I'll learn about CUDA and I'll write shaders and stuff. And then I never did. Just played Men of War in Lutris because I'm using GNOME and Arch Linux. Nice. Just learn Vulkan, write shaders, and that, or you can join me in Apple Land and learn Metal for Macs. I don't think I've never had an Apple product, and I probably never will. Listen to podcasts, audiobooks. Not really so much. There's a few like podcasts that I watch. I don't watch them regularly. There's way too much very interesting good content. Like you could have a full-time job just like listening to interesting content. I watch some of the like the financial and geopolitical updates and stuff about what's going on. I mean, there's been so much crazy news going on lately. I've been kind of looking at updates for that lately. Don't blame me, Apple. It's expensive. Other than that, good ecosystem. They've been irritating me lately. I think they used to be better. Like the hardware, they used to have less different types of hardware. But that it seems like the last few years they're just like milking. The quality of their stuff has gone down. And now they're just milking money out of people. Predictive history is an amazing channel for geopolitics. I don't even think I've heard of that channel before. OpenClaw was a huge market coup for Mac Minis. I don't even have insight on that system. He's a professor for a depreciatory school in China. Breaks down fundamental concepts on Western hegemony and power. Oh, I didn't recognize predictive history. There's I forget his name, but I've seen him like is it that Chinese guy who has these kind of like very frank and cynical takes on like the Western system. Some of his he's been like on every single podcast, And I've even seen like there's like these AI generated channels of him, where it's like people have like he has all these lectures he's done, and people have used AI to clone him, and they've created an entire channel of like him in his voice, with an AI voice of him saying things that he never said, like, and giving his like, you know, with a LLM sampled analysis that's like something that he would say, which I thought that was really interesting. But I've seen a few of his lectures. He does have, I think he does have some interesting conclusions, some of which are like kind of contrarian conclusions that I've arrived at independently myself. But at the same time, I'm missing chats. My favorite Linux command is logout. Predictive history guy is a bit strange. Saw him all over social media a few weeks ago. Yeah, I watched. There's a couple of his takes on things. I think he takes like a contrarian take on a lot of stuff, but I think a lot of his stuff is not necessarily based a lot on evidence. But then again, there are other things he says where he has a lot of interesting perspectives on things, because like even if he's wrong, the arguments that he's laying out, I've never even heard either side of the argument, and I find those are interesting perspectives to hear when you hear someone like debating one side of an argument and you've never even heard either side of the argument. So you can, gives you something to think about. Professor Jiang, yeah, that might be. It's probably it. He definitely has been like pushed everywhere, all over social media. Which is it? That's also interesting in itself. And like someone is generating all these AI videos of him too, which is interesting. Makes me wonder is it like some Western propaganda or Eastern propaganda? Who knows? What's the best and worst feature of Java? One feature that makes you love language. Another feature that makes you hate the language. I think the static typing, the fact that you can just compile and get errors and then fix them, and just go through that loop. I like that aspect of it. What I hate about it, probably the dependency management, Maven, and also the Spring framework library. It almost seems like Spring framework was written by someone with mental health issues, because it just seems it's so insane the way it's designed, and like all the confusing nonsense, but like beans and bean factories and stuff. It's not organized the way my brain puts things together. You hit me, my feeling like a week ago. You good, dude? I'm not sure how to answer that based on the insertion of the there, but I'd say I'm doing okay. I've been posting more stuff, so that's probably why the videos are getting pushed out more. I'm learning English, and I love it. Excellent. Oh yeah, the Discord. Yeah, that's not I haven't checked it too much. Yeah, I think if I did, I probably like moderate. If I turned on my own Discord, I'd probably moderate it a bit more. But then again, I don't really have time to do that. I saw your video where you said logout is my favorite Linux command. Yep, it is. Here's a question: if you had unlimited funds, what would you do or build? That's a question, but that's a difficult question because at every scale of getting more funds, like unlimited is quite a bit. Even if you had like $1 billion, $1 billion isn't a lot of money these days. You can't even do much with that. Maybe I'm projecting X Microsoft AI displaced. And it have worked for the last 2 years, doing the hard switch back to Linux. It's been hard unprogramming the corp brain. Oh, so you've been out of work? Out of work 2 years from Microsoft? Hard unprogramming the corp brain? Like the habits from working at a big corporate environment? Yeah, I'd imagine that's it's definitely a very like the real world has lots of more uncertainty and less structure, but when you work, in the 12th floor of some big tech company, and you've got all these protocols and rules about no tailgating when you badge in and stuff. But out here in the real world, everything is a jungle out here. And now we got all these wars and stuff. I wish success for you. God bless. Thank you very much. I wish success for you as well. Was data science, worked there 14 years. Drank the Kool-Aid. All that. It was weird that they mocked 4,000 of us globally on a single day. Wow. Yeah, that's I've never had that happen, but mentally and emotionally, that's got to be like a kick in the gut. I guess depending on how they do it, it can be really emotionally jarring. Like there's some, there's a ton of these stories coming out now, but like people, especially some of these like crazy startups where they lay off like 1,000 people over Zoom or something, or there's like people that they lay off most people over Zoom, but like some people don't get the invite link, so they just go to like, they go to turn on their computer or something and they find out they're locked out of everything and nobody told them that they're laid off. I remember when I was at NVIDIA, actually, I mean, these were some of the moments that made me also less interested in thinking like, okay, maybe, you know, going into the corporate tech world is not all it's cracked up to be. During my internship, there was a guy I worked with, and I think he had a vacation planned, and I think it was the last day before his vacation he was planning to come back from. They, at like halfway through the day, they just like disabled all of his badges, so he had to get into like the server room to do work, and he couldn't badge in to finish his work for the day, and so he had to get a coworker to badge him in so he could like finish what he was doing. And then while he was doing that, they came and they stole his computer, so he came back to like his computer desk and there was no computer there. So he's like, oh, okay, I'm locked out of my badges, and I guess I'll just go home at like 3 p.m. What language do you like for fast speed projects? If it's like a quick thing for desktop, I just use Python usually, or Shell if I can hopefully find a command that does it. But if not, if I got to do some processing, use Python. I wish I was in the big office. I'm in YEG. YEG. I don't know what that stands for. Back at school, so I'm recovering via academia. Well, that's a good place to go over a bit. Although it's academia is not what it used to be, and it's also another comfortable place. You can spend a lot of money and a lot of time in academia these days. And the ROI of it is starting to go down. Python was bread and butter, although they wanted us to move from RStudio to Power BI. So I eventually moved towards PBI and LaSAR. Python remained very useful. Heard this was trying to push the final patch on the project. YYC. I guess these are acronyms that YEG. YEG and YYC. I can't think of what that stands for. Import codes? Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like you're making some friends there. I support that. What graphics API does your game use? It uses the terminal. So it's everything. Let's see if it compiles at the moment. So it's purely terminal based, and all of the graphics are emoji characters and ANSI skip sequences and colors. And now it's possible it could. The idea would be eventually maybe add like a better graphics layer on top of it. The world itself is 3D, so you can move around in 3D. Actually, technically, it's even higher dimensional, but yeah, everything is all emoji characters, and it also works even in so you can use the use ASCII flag, and then you can play in pure just a pure ASCII graphics mode. See if I can find some ore to mine. I'll appear red. So in this view, all the blocks are just the first letter of the class name. Where's an ore vein when you need it? So the entire world, it's basically just like a matrix of blocks. There's going to be some ore around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So it might crash. There's some race conditions in at the moment. So I can go down here, and I can mine all of these special ores. Right now they don't actually do anything, but I did add like a crafting menu, and I spent some time to like make this generic, so I can easily just add new crafting menu items. So I can make a stone pick here. As you know, I got no wood. That's W over there for wood. So now, when I mine, it'll mine out to a larger radius. Then I can go down here, and I got scroll bars, which also work in pure TDY. There's a non-English comment. I'm not sure what that says. NetHack vibes. Yeah, I think people have mentioned that. Makes ore. Mining game. No ore. Yep. Where the ore? We want Mutal. Yeah, it's on the to-do list to add more more recipes and stuff. I'm focusing on the multiplayer because that I think is going to be a very that'll be a very significant feature in terms of the appeal. All right, let's see if I can at least get this get random cuboid function working. Gotta go study for econ. Take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. So is this game made for Linux specifically? Or can I just shove it into any OS that is POSIX compliant? Right now, if you try to run it on Windows, it won't work. And one of the first things that'll happen is it won't be able to figure out the terminal dimensions. And also there's a J and I library it's dependent on, which assumes Linux, but you can actually disable that. And if you disable it, then it doesn't work with the window resizing. That's the only catch. The amount of work you'd have to do to port it to work on Windows is not that much, I don't think. I've never tried. I think it'll probably. I've never tried to build it. I don't know for sure what happens if you try to build it on a Mac. But what if it worked for Mac? Even though it's not made for Mac OS. Still cousins. If it worked perfectly the first time on a Mac, I would not be like surprised. There's no specific thing that I predicted to fail. But yeah, I would kind of expect there's probably at least one thing, because there's a bunch of stuff where, yeah, most tools, most Unix tools made for x86 have to be compiled for ARM. Actually, I think there was one. I had one subscriber who he actually complained I had a few things with my build script that were not generalized properly, and I think he said he was on ARM, and I think he got it working on ARM. I don't think there's anything specific for x86 that I know of. But on Windows, I suggest WSL. Yeah, you can also there's also you just like wget the jar file and try to run that. Although it's it has like if you by default it'll try to use the JNI library. It comes with a precompiled JNI library in it. It's got like a binary, so you may not have the right binary interface for it. Somebody asked me about what is it? It's the Termux. I think it's called Termux for it's like a mobile phone terminal. And someone asked if it worked on there, and so I was curious. I decided to try it on my phone, and it worked perfectly the first time. I was very surprised, and like just worked exactly how. And actually, the colors even looked a bit better because the colors were different. Can easily make Linux VM. Have to be a Linux ARM. If that doesn't work, you can always try FEX. Not interested in doing anything. Just curious. I think it'll, if I'm not mistaken, because I actually had initially I had in the build script I had something hard coded to be x86, and someone said they tried to compile it, it didn't work, and then I made this script a bit more generic, so it would like find it would be a bit, I think it was the Java executable path, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they said that they were able to build it successfully on their system that was ARM. Linux distro I use just Ubuntu. Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead. How's it going? Carmen Winstead. See, maybe if I'm curious enough, I'll see if it'll work with Mac. Once I learn Swift. Yeah, if you try it, feel free to just lazily, like if you try it and then it just fails for some reason, just gonna copy and paste whatever error message you get, and then I'll just add that to the list of things to fix. So I think I'm not aware of anything that should make it not work on Mac. You'll have to have, I think it expects if you build it from scratch, it expects that you have make and I think C++ installed. Appreciate that. If I do end up trying, yeah, I gotta have good support, or else nobody'll play a game that doesn't work. Okay, that moved my function. Do you have a live server running? Like for hosting the game, you mean? No, not this time. I still don't have multiplayer is not actually implemented yet. Right now, I'm working on I'm working on the client side aspect of the multiplayer. Actually, there isn't too much work to do on the server side. Like technically, there already is an existing server side, but I just made some significant changes that meant now there's a race condition on the server I have to fix. It would probably be a while before I get any kind of like production server set up, because I'd want to like security harden it and stuff, and I haven't even thought about that yet. Everyone, user testing, might volunteer. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you want to try it out and just try and build it. I guess technically, if you try, the current version is not stable, so you will find issues with it. If you try to move around, it'll crash. And I guess the most recent release version is kind of old at this point. But yeah, I guess you could just try out the build process and see if you try to build it and it doesn't build for you, then that's probably an issue to fix. And just you can post on the Git repo, or just you can post a. I see most YouTube comments, although I don't respond to many anymore. But you can just it's been updated in 6 days. Not sure if you're pushing. Yeah, I don't push every day. Have any larger plans than just the game? Any big projects you want to make? Honestly, I think the game itself is a big enough project. My other projects are other things I've described in my YouTube videos. I have a bunch of microchip. I was building a rig for inspecting microchips and stuff. I made a couple of videos on doing some close-ups of microchips. I thought they were pretty good. I kind of hoped they would get more views so that they would actually generate revenue, and that I could justify more work on that. There's lots of projects I could do, but there needs to be customer demand and revenue that comes from it. There's a lot. It's easy to get hooked on a project and waste time on it. But if it doesn't make money, then I can't pay the bills. When you start working with RISC-V, make a Linux distro that works on it. Does that make money? I guess I'm sure there's probably some open source, maybe Canonical or something is hiring people to do that, but at that point it's kind of I'm giving up a lot of my autonomy to go just into the 9 to 5 grind again. Probably won't make money. I would give you money to do that if I had it. Once you get rich, then you can give me some money, and then I'll hire an intern and get them to do it. Let's see, I thought I changed this. I haven't used that yet. Google are releasing new smart glasses later this year. Yeah, they Google Glass. That was a thing. That was like a decade ago now, and they were pushing that really hard, and then I never heard anything about it. If I get rich, take all my money. I want you to work for me and work on Risk V. Well, I guess if you get super rich, then maybe you'll offer me an amount of money I can't refuse. It'll be a new platform to target. Yeah, augmented reality. That's going to be crazy if we have AI. Technology is already pretty crazy. Man, the future is going to be exciting, scary, and confusing. Okay, my unit test. That's not exactly what I wanted, but I have the structure there for creating a random chunk. So right now, every block is populated with an iron pick. But I guess what I can do is I'll update that to put in like a random block type, and then in my unit test I'll actually like verify that it's correct. All right, I'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll be back again tomorrow night for day 314. And I'll just make this randomly pick an index from the chunk initializer class. And then down here, I'll actually call this, and there's a few things, a few extra checks to add here. And then I'm starting to have the beginnings of an actual unit test for this memory chunk loading. And then once that works, there's some refactoring to do on the chunk loader. There's a bug fix, and then the final thing will be to generalize it so it works with multiple clients. All right, that's it for tonight. Have a good night, everyone.